Hey, welcome back to YT Finance, and today we are talking about the top 50 stocks that members of Congress own, which would include senators as well as representatives. This is a Business Insider article, and this source will be linked down below in the description. So we're going to do this video a little differently. So instead of me making slides of this article, I'm just going to live record my screen, and we're just going to go through this together. I also want to add that this video took me a long time to make, so if you could smash the like button right now if you like videos in this format, or if you got any value out of it, I would highly appreciate it. Remember to subscribe if you are new, and now let's jump right into it. More than 40% of the members of Congress, which is over 220 representatives and senators, own around $225 million worth of stock assets. Those in Congress are prohibited from using insider information to profit from the stock market. However, we all know that various degrees of insider trading still takes place, so we should really watch what Congress is buying, especially tech stocks, which they tend to favor. If we scroll down here later in the article, we can see this great chart that has all of these bubbles. And if we scroll over the bubble, we can see that this bubble is Boeing, ticker symbol BA, and we can see how many representatives own this stock and how many senators own this stock. So 17 representatives own this stock and 4 senators own this stock. Now, I like this chart, and I think the bubble idea is very cool, and we can even scroll over some bubbles that will give us information about the company, or maybe something that has recently happened to this company in the news, if I can find one here. For instance, BlackRock. Nearly 24 federal legislators are invested in the world's largest asset manager, which would be BlackRock. So 20 representatives own this stock and 1 senator owns this stock. However, I didn't think that this is a very comprehensive view about what Congress is buying, so I ended up making a spreadsheet. This spreadsheet goes into detail of the company name, the ticker symbol, the current stock price of this stock, the low-end price target by analysts, the high-end price predictions by analysts, the fair value of the stock, which is what the stock should be trading at right now according to their assets and a few other factors, what analysts or how analysts rank the stock compared to other analysts. We know the space or industry or sector of this company. For instance, if we take Boeing as an example, if I can highlight it here, we can see that Boeing's ticker symbol is BA. It has a current stock price of $198. The low-end price target is $180 by analysts. The high-end price prediction is $306. The fair value price is $249. And 65% of 28 analysts view this stock as a clear buy right now, and it operates in the aerospace sector or industry. I also want to add that we have the representative owners and senators over here. So 17 owners, or 17 representatives rather, own this stock, and 4 senators own this stock. I've also broken this down into various other charts, so we're going to rank all of these stocks. We're going to rank them by how many representatives own this stock, how many senators own various stocks, what are analysts' favorite stocks out of these 50, what is the low price target for these stocks, the highest end price target for these stocks, the best fair value stock, and the best stocks overall. If you want to look at my spreadsheet right now, I will just give you a quick view of it. This took me a long time to create, and I used the data from these bubbles along with the data from Morningstar, Robinhood, Webull, and various other sites to make this spreadsheet. I also used Google Docs, which I'm not very familiar with, or Google Sheets rather. I normally use Excel, but I wanted to kind of branch out of what I'm used to. But just to give you a quick look at all the companies, ticker symbols, price targets, and what analysts think of this stock, I'm just going to scroll down here so you can see all 50 if you want to take some pictures, or if you want to do some analysis yourself later on. That would be all of them. So we're going to start off looking at the representatives. So we want to know what stock out of these 50 do the most representatives own. So we're just going to click over here, and this is where we have our data chart. Now, what I need to do is I need to press representatives. I'll filter through it. We'll do this. We'll do a... Okay, there we go. So we have Apple as number 1, Microsoft as number 2, Alphabet, which is the parent company of Google, as number 3, then Procter & Gamble as number 4. Just let me go through these and number these real quick. There we go. In blue are the top 8 companies. So number 8 is Johnson & Johnson, then Amazon, then Bank of America, then Disney, Procter & Gamble, Alphabet, Microsoft, and then Apple lastly. And here we can see 33, 33, 34, 34, 34, 36, 51, and 59. So clearly our top 3 is the ones we really want to pay attention to. I just did top 8 because we're going to use all of this data of the top 8 and the top 3 later on when we talk about the best overall stock out of these 50. Because some stocks and some companies can win in representatives. Sometimes it's going to disagree with what the senators are buying or what the analysts think of the stock, and so on and so forth. Now we're going to go on and see what senators are buying, or the most popular stock among senators. So we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to click senators. We're going to add a filter view. We're going to filter through all of these, and here we go. So I'm going to number these really quick. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, top 8. And number 8, we have Verizon with 10 senators holding the stock. Then in number 7, we have Intel, ticker symbol INTC, and another 10 own this stock for the representatives. Disney is number 6. That's not surprising. Johnson & Johnson is number 5. That's a great dividend aristocrat, which means that they have increased their dividend for over 25 years consecutively. So that's very impressive. Number 4 is Amazon. I'm actually surprised that Amazon and Pepsi actually haven't switched places here, but the top 3 for senators holdings is Pepsi, Microsoft, and Apple. Now, I know that both Pepsi and Amazon have the exact same amount of senator holdings, but I also took other things into consideration as well when making this list. We're going to go over next to what analysts think of these stocks. So out of the 50 stocks, which stocks do analysts find to be the most impressive? So again, we're just going to go over to analyst rankings. We're going to press the filter button. We're going to go Z to A, and there we go. We're going to get the best data right here. So 98% of analysts out of 55 analysts that have a rating for Amazon stock say that it's a buy, and I totally agree with that because Amazon is an absolutely monstrous gains. It's a monstrous company, and overall it's very good. But in our top 8, in our number 8 spot, we have BlackRock. So 85% of analysts out of the 13 that have reviewed this stock, to my data sources, say that BlackRock is a buy. So basically all of these stocks are pretty good according to analysts, but we want to focus more on the top 3. And our top 3 here is going to be Amazon, Visa, and Alphabet, with 98% for Amazon, 98% for Visa, and 96% for Alphabet, barely beating out Microsoft in the number 4 spot. So again, just like in our senator, where Pepsi and Amazon were duking it out for 3 and 4, now we have Alphabet and Microsoft duking it out, but Microsoft ended up losing out just by 1% according to analysts. So if you really value analysts and what they think about certain stocks, this is going to be the spreadsheet that you want to look at. If you really like representatives, this is going to be the spreadsheet you want to look at. If you like senators and want to buy what senators are buying, you're going to want to look at this one. Now, this is where it gets interesting because now this is where we get into investing strategies. So for the low price target, these are already in order. I'm going to put these, number these really quick in their orders for top 8. But I want to scroll down because this is going to be the safest long-term investments because we're comparing their current price to their low-end price prediction. For the high end, we're going to do the current price to the high end price prediction, and we're going to do the current price to the fair value prediction. So this is going to be for safe long-term investors, this spreadsheet. The next one is going to be for long-term aggressive growth investors, and then the next one for the fair value is going to be for value investors. So our top 8 here is pretty surprising. We have number 1 is Raytheon, ticker symbol RTX, and they're in the aerospace sector industry, and their value, we want to look for a value over 1. So we have Raytheon, Viatris, and Berkshire Hathaway, and that's Warren Buffett's company. So when we're looking at the current price and we're comparing it to the low-end price target, these are the stocks that are going to be our safest long-term investments, especially if we want to get substantial growth out of them. Now, if you are an aggressive growth investor, this is for aggressive growth, we're going to want to go over and compare it to the most bullish price prediction, which is going to be the high-end price target. So last time we compared the current price target to the low-end price, we're now comparing the current price target to the high-end price target, and this is going to be for aggressive growth investors. Again, we still need to filter through all of the data that we have. We're going to do Z to A, and there we go. So let me rank these really quick. for 8. I was going to do top 10, but it kind of takes too long if I go through all 10. But this is a good snapshot of the top 8 if you are a growth investor or that's the strategy that you decide to utilize. So in our top 3, we have Viatris again, Alibaba, and Citigroup. And those are going to be our top aggressive growth stocks. And then in number 8, we have General Electric. 7 is Comcast. 6 is Intel. We have Exxon at number 5 and PayPal as number 4. And again, all of these stocks are very, very good investments. All 50 of these stocks are actually really good and could make up a very well-diversified portfolio and a plethora of different industries and sectors. However, we're just trying to see the best. So that's why we have the top 8 and then the top 3. And we're going to use this data when we look at the overall best stocks according to all of the research that we've already done. So if you are an aggressive growth investor, these are the top 8 stocks that you would want to look into and do more research in. Next, we have the fair value. So the fair value is going to really be advantageous for value investors because many stocks right now are actually trading below their fair value, which means it's a fantastic deal to buy the stock at its current stock price. So we're going to compare the current stock price to their fair value. And again, we're just going to filter through this data to see what is the best value stocks out of these 50 stocks. Now we can rank these again, 1 through 8. And we have our top 3. We have Alibaba, AT&T, and General Electric, which means that these stocks are trading well below their fair value. Because their fair value price is, for General Electric at least, it's trading at $93, but it should be trading at $131. Similarly, AT&T is trading at $24, but its fair value is $36. And number 1 is Alibaba. Its current value is $122 per share, and its fair value is $188. And this has actually been lowered a lot. So this is going to be more of a risky investment, but we're going to talk about that later when we go over the best stocks overall. But here are your top 8 when it comes to value stocks out of these 50. So we have Merck, Boeing, Exxon, Intel, Citigroup, General Electric, AT&T, and Alibaba. And here are all the decimals and rankings of how we generated this data. Lastly, we're going to go over the very best. So we're going to take into consideration how many stocks placed in the top 8, how many times, and we're going to see how many stocks showed up the most frequently in our top 3. So to do that, we're just going to have to go over to the filter button, and we're going to filter it by the color, and the color is going to be green. So these are all of the green ones that have shown up in our top 3. So this goes back all the way to representatives, to senators, to analysts, the low-end price target, the high-end price target, the fair value, and overall best. So we can see that Apple has shown up. I actually want to put this in alphabetical order so it's going to be easier to see. So Alibaba showed up twice. Alphabet showed up twice. Amazon only showed up once. That's pretty surprising. Apple showed up twice. Microsoft showed up twice, and Viatris showed up twice. Now, out of these stocks, and we can also see these colors, which represents each one of these other spreadsheets to see where they placed. But if we scroll down, we can see that the top 5 stocks overall for this spreadsheet, or for what representatives, senators, and Congress in general are buying, is that they have bought the most of Amazon, Alibaba, Apple, Microsoft, and Citigroup and Intel tie for number 5, because they both got just as many places within the top 10, within the top 8, and in the top 3. Now, if we just want to look at the top 3 stocks, we actually have kind of a tie, but I ended up changing what I think would be the best investments. So the top 3 winners, which are in green, I'm going to go number 1 is Microsoft, number 2 as Apple, and number 3 as Alphabet. Now, the reason why Amazon is not in the top 3, which actually surprised me, is that Amazon only showed up one time in the top 3. And again, we're taking the data from all of these other spreadsheets and we're using it to get our top 3. And because Amazon only showed up once and all of these companies showed up more than once, we can see that this is our true top 3. Now, Alibaba showed up just as many times as Microsoft, Apple, and Alphabet. So why isn't Alibaba in the top 3? Well, I didn't put Alibaba in the top 3 is because they have a lot of regulation and policy issues, and Alibaba is not a US company. They are over in China, and a lot of things are happening in the regulatory and law environment over in China. So I found that Alibaba is too risky to put in the top 3. Lastly, we have Viatris, that has also showed up just as many times as Microsoft, Alphabet, Apple, but this stock is way too volatile to be in the top 3 of overall winners. So according to this article, the data that they gave us and all of our spreadsheet information, we can conclude that the top 5 and the top 3 are probably the best stocks to buy out of the stocks that Congress is buying. But again, like I said earlier, all 50 of these stocks are actually really, really good and can be used specifically to diversify your portfolio, which would give you very good long-term gains. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. This is a different video than what I normally make. There are no real edits, so I probably have messed up a couple times, but I just wanted to experiment to see if you all like this data crunching video, because in my normal videos, I normally just make slides, but behind those slides, I am data crunching and I am making spreadsheets just like these so I can give you all the best information. So if you liked or enjoyed this video, comment down below what your top 3 stocks are out of these top 50. Go and check out the Business Insider article that I used to get some of this data. Subscribe if you are new, and I will see you in the next YT video.